Welcome to the Golden State Media Concepts Sex Podcast, a show that examines all aspects of sexuality, from physical to emotional to spiritual. Join our hosts as they discuss age-old questions, common misconceptions, and the latest topics surrounding sex. They'll tackle topics about sexuality from the complicated to the hilarious and everything in between. GSMC Sex Podcast is your show for all of your questions about sex, even some you might not have thought of yet.
Welcome to the GSMC Sex Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network, with your host, Andra, with the topic about sex is from the point of view of an older woman. Today's topic, how to play hard to get. Our partner needs a little spice, little tease, a little fun. So let's play hard to get. Here are some ways we can tell them we are busy, but that they can buy us dinner. Our partners want to know that we are available at their every beck and call. This is drawing the reins and showing that you don't go by those rules. So you're sending these messages that you're not available just when your partner calls or when they decide to call you. So putting a little hold on them reins. Number 2, whisper something in your partner's ears, but don't touch them. You can get really, really, really close to the point where whispering they feel the hot breath on their ear, and even you brush up against their ear with your lip, or they feel you're gonna lick their ear or tease it a bit, but you don't, and they're wanting more, so they want to know how far that would went. Next on our list, don't answer any of their texts. They're texting you and expect you to text them right away. Hold off. Let them think. That little space in between and that time frame in between, they're wondering where you are, what you're doing, what's going on. Why haven't you, returned the text? Their minds are racing. Next, don't reveal everything about your love life to them. Usually, when we're in a relationship, we ourselves, as well as our partner, want to know as much about each other as possible. So we talk about our past sex lives, we talk about our past partners, and if we ever fell in love with somebody, or how close we've ever gotten, if we ever gotten closer than we are to them, were we to somebody else. Don't tell them anything. Let them wonder, guess. It drives them crazy. Don't tell them how you feel, but show some interest. You may be head over heels for this person, but don't let them know that, because that's putting in their mind is, oh, I have her, or I have him. Show a little interest, but don't reveal your actual feelings toward them, that you really like them, you want to be with them, you think they're the right person, they're going to be with you for the rest of your life. Don't let them know how much you like them. Tell them something about your night out with the girls, but don't reveal everything. You know the saying, what goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas. Well, that goes for everywhere else in the world as well. You could say, if they ask, if your partner asks, how was your night out with your friends? You say, we had a really good night. We went here, had some dinner, yada, yada, yada. Don't tell them what the conversation was about. Don't tell me you met people while you were out there, or if somebody came up to you and was trying to hit on you. Let them think. Let them wonder. Oh my goodness. They're not telling me everything. What really happened that night? I know they had a good time, but I don't know exactly what happened. I need to know. Let them wonder, because that's what it's all about. They're going to be wondering so badly that they're going to be almost to your beck and call. They want to know. They're going to try and find ways to maneuver it out of you, get you to slip up and say something. If you see one of your friends out that you went out with that night, they're going to try and bring up something between the two of you, hoping that one of you slips up and gives a little bit more information. Don't do it. Next, mention that you have male friends or female friends, but explain that they're just friends. Drives your partner absolutely crazy, because to them, what's going through their mind is, how's she looking at him? How's he looking at her? And it's getting them to worry about what's going on in your head, if this person will pull you away from them. Let them think. There is such thing as having, for the females, male friends that are just friends. They're almost like your brothers, or the brothers you never had. And that also goes for the male counterpart. You have friends that are female. They are like little sisters to you, or the sisters you never had. It is good, it is healthy to have friends from both sexes, because it makes you well-rounded. It teaches you how to be able to converse with the opposite sex and maintain who you are. It does not take anything away from your partner or anything, but they're wondering. That's a big wonder, because a lot of partners will tell you not to talk to them anymore, or I don't want you being around them anymore, and try to pull you out. If you have a partner that does that, there is a control issue and an insecurity. You either back down or, actually address it, or then end it if it isn't, you're unable to address that issue. Because being an individual and having friends, doesn't matter what sex, is good. It is positive. Next on our list, don't go to bed with them. Just give them a kiss. Your partner that you are, playing hard to get with, if you just are always kissing and you never get to second base, you never get to third base, you never make a home run, as we play in baseball, you are getting them to wonder, oh my God, if they kiss like that, how are they in bed? Because that mindset is always there. You're turning on your partner, and they're going to want more. But if you start doing that kissing and everything and not be able to stop yourself, well, you have gone beyond hard to get. So let's just tantalize and tease with that kiss. Because a lot of our partners base a lot of sex in how an individual is by how they kiss. Kissing, very important. Don't be clingy, but appreciate your partner's efforts. You ever hear that saying, oh my God, I had to get rid of him or her. They were just way too clingy. Your partner doesn't like someone who's going to be clingy. They usually will want somebody who is able to be that individual and still be there for them. Now, this is not to say that there are those relationships who actually do like that, and that does work. But you have to find that right person, and you may have to go through a lot of them to do it. And that goes either on the female and or male side of things. That does not discriminate at all. Next, don't rush into a relationship right away, but give them hope. Give them something to think about, that there's something there's a light down the end of the tunnel, that they're going to have that opportunity to, if they have to say it, make you theirs. And they always want to know that that is possible. So, don't worry about it. You can play hard to get, and that person will still be there. You know that there's going, give them a little playtime when thinking about, oh my God, am I in a relationship with this person or aren't I? All partners are always wondering about it. So let them think it. We're going to take a break here. And when we come back, we'll continue with ways to play hard to get. So go get that drink, get that snack, come back, get comfortable, and stay tuned in. I'll be back.
Still on the search of that one true love? On the limbo in this crazy world of dating, marriage, relationships? Well, listen to the Golden State Media Concepts Relationship Podcast, your one-stop podcast for everything about relationships.
Welcome back to the GSMC Sex Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network, with your host, Andra, where the topic about sex is from the point of view of an older woman. Now, as promised, we're going to continue with our playing hard to get. And next discussion and on our list is to show your confidence. Now, this can go either way. Showing your confidence, I believe, is always a good thing, because you need to be an individual. And as long as you are an individual, you have something to bring to the table in the relationship. And that makes you who you are without losing yourself. However, there are some partners out there that are very intimidated by the confidence that you will display. Don't make it a snotty confidence. Make it a good confidence. But do show who you are. Next, show your partner that you have a fulfilled life without them in it. Now, this one can be very dangerous to tinker with. But show them that you need to be who you are, and that you want them in your life. Because this shows that either way or anything that happens, you're able and strong enough to just walk away. You want this individual in your life. You don't need this individual in your life. But play with that. That one's a little dangerous as well. Tinkering with that might go a little too far. And if you do it for too long and play hard to get in that manner, you may just lose that person that you really like. So, play it. But, what's your limits? Don't admit that you like your partner right away. This one's a fun one. It's almost like a tease and a flirt in one. So, you're letting them know that you like them. But you're not telling them how far, how much, or anything that's going to put a limit onto that. And it makes them eager and wanting more. So, and they, until you get your hooks in them fully. Let your partner make the first move. This is really, when we were younger, the woman never went up to the man. But nowadays, the tables have turned. But this is putting it back into that, bringing back a little bit of old-fashioned romance. Let them make the first move. Show them that you like them, but not right away. Not a whole bunch. But let them come to you, because they're going to think, oh my goodness, she's not making a move on me, or he's not making a move on me. I know they like me. I feel that connection. All right, I'm going to do it. To let them do it. Because it's killing them as much as it's killing you. And that's hard to get. Look the best you can. And this drives them crazy, because it makes them believe that because they're not around, you still look good. You can't look that good without them. There's no way. They can't fathom that idea. Next one is the most important one. Is be yourself. Don't be something in order to appease that attraction, that partner. Because in the process, you're going to lose yourself. And that's not what you want. And that's not a relationship you want. So, just be yourself. Next one is find the right balance. Because that balance is important. When you're playing around, you find the right balance that works in that hard-to-get game. If it's not balanced, then it's not going to go anywhere. And you may as well move on. Don't tell your partner that you miss him when he's not around or she's not around. Because let them think, I'm away, she's missing me. No. Don't tell them that. Don't tell your partner that. Because, one, this could fall two ways. One, it could be where this person says, well, I went away, you don't even miss me, you really don't like me, and will walk away. So your game of hard to get just blew up in your face. However, the opposite side of that is that you give them a little. You don't tell them all of it, but you give them that feeling and that glimmer of hope that, oh my goodness, they missed me when I was gone. And let them tinker with it in the back of their head. But don't tell them. Don't tell them. When you're playing around, what is it we were always taught when we were younger? If a boy hits you, they like you. If a girl hits you, they like you. This one fits right into the hard to get. Touch that prospective partner accidentally. Like, just laughing and joking, and you brush up against them. Like, you're joking. Lightly touch them. That little touch will send that person crazy because they're going to want more of it. And it's probably the hardest. If you go too far overboard with that one, they are going to get to the point and they're going to get cocky and they're going to get confident and say, so-and-so likes me. They're constantly hitting me, or constantly brushing up against me. Do it maybe once in a laugh and a joke, whatever. Wait for the next accidental touch. Next, don't focus only on that prospective partner when you are together. When you're together, focus on what the surroundings and what's going on. And this is more of a not showing that person that they're the center of attraction and that you see only that person right then and there. You got to get them to know that that is true regardless. So play a little hard to get because they're going to want and yearn for your attention when they're out. And your partner always does. They want to know that they are feeling wanted. They want to know that you actually feel this way and that you are part of them. So play around with it. Show that partner that you are not heartless, but keep your distance as well. Now, this usually comes when you're crushing on somebody. But what you're doing is you're showing that individual that you like being in their company. Or you like that person being in your company. But at the same time, don't go and show that complete, overly gushing crush to them because it will totally break your heart to get. That playing hard to get just went right out the window. Another very important, although it's put here in playing hard to get, it is very, very important all around, and is take it slow. Take it slow. That's in your relationship. Don't rush completely into it. Playing hard to get is just that, playing hard to get. You're not going to rush completely into that and keep that, if you rush into it, hard to get, there was no hard to get. So you want to take that slow, but that's also within the relationship as well. Next, be in a good mood. It's always nice being in a good mood, but let that prospective partner know that they can't treat you the way that they want. Okay, because when they get out, sometimes some things are one way in front of people, the other behind closed doors. So when you're playing hard to get, show them that you are independent and that you are going to act your way. With a little flirtation, of course, and tease. Alright. Now we've come to the midway point, and we're going to take a break here. So when we get back, we'll finish up our hard to get plays. So replenish that drink in that snack. Come back, get comfortable. I'll meet you on the flip side.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Welcome back to the GSMC Sex Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network, with your host, Andra, where the topic about sex is from the point of view of an older woman. Now, welcome back to the final portion of our segment. We're playing Hard to Get. Now, our next one. Now, playing Hard to Get. This involves this. And it's flirting with that prospective partner. To play hard to get, you gotta flirt a little. Flirting is part of hard to get. Or shall we flip that? Playing hard to get is a flirting, teasing game. It's what it's all about. But with playing hard to get, you're actually expressing the actual feelings that you're feeling. You can flirt with somebody, and it could be just flirting for a one-night stand, or just to have sex with that person. When it comes to playing hard to get, the difference is that there's feelings involved, and they're basically already there, because you're probably crushing on that individual, or you're extremely attracted to that individual and you want more out of, that person. So, our next one is turn that prospective partner on their words, or on with words alone. Now, there's an old saying with words, using your words, verbal judo. Because that's usually used when you're trying to get out of a confrontation or turn a situation around. So use that here. Turn those words, turn them on with some words. Throw in, with every conversation, some little innuendo. And that prospective partner is actually looking for those, because they're listening intently to everything you say, because they want to know that you actually like them, or that, the feelings are mutual. So throw in a little innuendo in there of a word so that they can grab it and hold on to it. Be mysterious. This playing hard to get is probably one of the best ones, because when you are being mysterious, you are keeping that prospective partner's senses heightened to you. They are confused. They are liking. They are wanting. But the big thing there is they're confused. They don't know which way to go. And you being mysterious is keeping them there. And you can just sit back and watch. Don't watch for too long, because there are some individuals who will turn around, and if they have to fight long and hard for that, they'll stop. So, you gotta watch how far you go with it. But being mysterious is always, always fun, hard to get. Play. Next one is ignore your partner when he or she wants you the most. So when your partner's coming up to you and they're all over you and they want to be with you, play like you don't see him, or you got something to do, or you're in the middle of something, or you didn't hear what they were saying. Maybe you're just sitting there watching TV and they're throwing a few things at you, a few hints. Act like you didn't hear them, because they're going to try harder. They're going to try harder to get your attention. Another important way of playing hard to get is put yourself first. I don't think that needs an explanation, people. That goes on both sides. But allowing for a little bit of leeway, but put you first. Don't hurt yourself in the process of playing hard to get, because you will get your heart broken. So always know to put you first. And this goes with everything that you do with regards to relationships and how you want that relationship to be where it's at. Because playing hard to get can be a dangerous game, but for the most part, it's really fun. It's a combination of flirting, throwing, teasing. I mean, you could be already in a relationship and you're doing these things, but you already know that that person likes you and they're with you. So, but still it puts a little spice in the relationship. That's a good thing. I love when I'm looking up different things and different discussions when I'm going to go and do this podcast. It's really great to see the different things and relate them to how they were then as opposed to now and how times have changed. I mean, there's so many articles out there and interesting things to look at and read. And on the same topic, always has something different. One person does one thing, the other person views it some way else. And a prime example is playing hard to get. It's, you want these things, but you gotta play and have fun. I mean, another hard to get to do is make your partner wait for sex. I mean, nowadays, it's a little bit open. I mean, when I was younger, back in the day, you were always taught as a woman to be a lady, and that don't give that up right away. Don't give up sex because then you'd be viewed poorly. And that waiting period for sex and playing hard to get is what grabs that partner. Nowadays, it's a little different. This is fun and it still works, making that prospective partner or your partner wait for sex. It makes them yearn for it more. But today's society, we have it a little bit different. If a woman sees a man they like, or a man sees a woman he likes, and they're on the same ground, going to bed with them, like right then and there, or waiting a day or the second date, is not problematic because it's viewed differently. It's still, don't take that the wrong way, because I can feel everybody who just cringed. It is, yes, it is that, and it could come to that point where it was he or she played you until they got you in bed, because that game is still played. However, it's not as much as it used to be. Nowadays, sex is the way in which individuals or prospective partners figure out if they like each other, if that person is good in bed. It has come down to that, unfortunately, but it is there nonetheless. Different time frame, different state of mind, but it is always still good to hold on to your old-fashioned values because they are there. Don't give out yourself fully. You just want to open the door, but don't let that prospective partner jump through it. So you're opening up for this person to call you, text you whenever they want. come over, you go on dates with them, but you're not allowing them all the way in. You're holding back just that little bit. You know, another one, you're going to give that person affection, but always, always very, very important, take your space in the process because you're going to need it. You got to find out if this is what you want, if this is how you're going to continue. And playing hard to get in that manner allows you to actually figure that out. So don't think that you do still have to rush into everything. There is old-fashioned romanticism out there. Romance is still there. Chivalry is still there, just highly covered. But there's always a saying, if they open the door for you or they pull out your seat, they're a keeper. And it's very hard nowadays to find that. But there are still individuals. There's such a confusion going on where the older generation is still with the old-fashioned values, and then those are those individuals who are not used to those old-fashioned values now. And when it's done to them, or it's put forth in front of them, they really are extremely impressed or confused. So, you gotta work that hard to get. But if this is somebody that you really are crushing on and want to be with, don't go too far. Because it might just be that person you're going to be with for the rest of your life. But do have fun. It is a flirt and it is a tease with more attached to it. There are feelings that get attached. So unfortunately, that is the end of my segment. And as always, I have had fun. And as always, practice safe sex. If not for your partner, for yourself.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Sex Podcast, part of the GSMC Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcasts on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, or anywhere you find podcasts. Just type in GSMC to find all of our shows from the GSMC Podcast Network. From sex and relationships to health and wellness, life and happiness, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's episode of the Golden State Media Concepts Sex Podcast.